Welcome to Real Talk with Jen, the Chain Breaker. Okay, this is the next episode of the Grateful Now series. This is Living Out Loud. What is living out loud? You see those um memes and things that say live out loud, right? Laugh, joy, peace, and everything like that. Well, I'm excited to talk about this subject. I'm Jenlo of Jenlo Inspires, founder of Second Chance 21013. Thank you all that's been rocking with me for over 10 years now. Definitely appreciate you, value you, your opinions, your shares, your comments, your interactions, all those things. If you're not part of my Second Chance 21013 private community group, make sure you get there because we are striving and thriving. Okay. All right. So make sure that you join a private community where I share things in there. And I want to know who you are. If you have businesses, if you're creatives, guests, I'm always looking. Well, for this next part, I think that we're going to transition into with the podcast. I'll be looking for guests, right? So I need to know who you are, interact, share. Let me know what you're getting from the podcast because ultimately I'm doing this because I am Jinlo Inspires. I hope to be inspiring you to become the best version of yourself you ever seen to what live out loud, okay, as the name of this particular series is, okay? So today, living out loud, all right, your deep desire. We have about 60,000 thoughts or more a day. Now, in between there, a lot of those thoughts, unfortunately, are about our purpose, okay? Unfortunately, it's about, the next bill, if you got kids, if you got a spouse, if you're in school, it's about the job, it's about the house, the car, and all those things like that, and they compound. And those are our thoughts. How we gonna breathe through to the next, in the midst of the clutter of all those things, how we gonna get through to the next thing? Like, a lot of people say, I'm barely making it. I'm just trying to get to the next day. I'm just trying to get to the next meet. Yeah, I'm just trying to get to the next thing, right? Okay. So basically, you're saying that you're trying to get from struggle to struggle, that you're just barely making it from struggle to struggle. You're struggling to struggle. How many of y'all are struggling to breathe, to smile? You walk around, and I know I I have a face that when I'm thinking, it's not a smile, it's like, because I'm thinking, I'm processing. But some people really have let life take their from the inside out. Okay. They've literally let their smile be taken from the inside out. Let me tell you what this says. I want y'all to see it. So this says best day ever. When I walk in the house, the first thing I see is best day ever. When I leave, anytime I'm walking through the living room, I see best day ever. Why? Because no matter what's going on, this is the best day ever. Why? Because I'm here. How many people did not make it this morning? When you went on your Facebook timeline, Instagram timeline, or whatever it may be, what did you see? What do you see every single solitary day? You see somebody saying, man, somebody's gone. And a lot of times, some of these people are going by stress. They are alive, but they're not living. I had that conversation a couple years ago. I said, "Why does it seem like so many people just going through? They like it's like they're on an they're on autopilot to just hey, wake up, maybe brush your teeth hopefully every day, wash, make breakfast, get the kids together if you got kids, take them, go to work, do your it's a routine. It's a routine that seems so unalive. Okay, it's like it's just you're just programmed. But in the midst of that is so many things you really want to do. You just don't know how to break free to do them. You don't know how to step out of line, right? Or maybe you do, but you're scared to, because what would the neighbor think, or what would your coworker think, or what would your friend think, or what would all these people think, when what matters is what you think, how you feel. At the end of the day, when everybody gets through putting all their opinions on you about all of the stuff that you're doing and how they feel about it, whether it be negative or positive, guess what? They going home, they going to sleep, and they ain't gonna think about it no more. They ain't gonna think about it no more. And you're the one that's gonna be up late at night thinking, is this the right decision? Should I do this? Well, they didn't think it was a good idea. Now, can you imagine how many $1 million ideas out there that have come across $1 billion, $1 trillion, that there was tons of people who didn't think it was a good idea. Tons of people who thought it was crazy. Nobody's gonna do that. Nobody's interested in what's the sneakers? What are those? We just gonna keep wearing our clay sandals or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Right? It's real. Wigs, right? I made wigs, you know what I'm saying? Hey, JA Swiss Station's okay. Nobody's gonna put that hot thing. It's hot. Nobody wanna put that on their head. That's crazy. You wear your own hair. I do. I'm natural. But sometimes I just wanna be extra cute, and I maybe don't wanna put a relaxer in my hair to do that. I've been relaxer free for over 10 years. Okay? Maybe I don't wanna go to the salon. Maybe I just wanna sit at home and be creative, because I am, in fact, a what? Creative. That means I create things, I create opportunities, I create what I don't see. I don't see this in the store, and I don't want nobody. I got my hair dyed the way I want it to dye, and I don't want to go through the process of doing it, right? So this is my part. When I see people that have like hair color like myself, you know what I'm saying? I think of that as living out loud. It's outside the box. It's outside the norm. Now, sometimes some stuff is real crazy, like, but but there is a small form of expression, a small stone of being creative, right? How many of y'all write down what you want to do? If you got a trip you want to go to, go on, or something like you said, I don't see, like my journal. I didn't see what I have in this journal is from here, from what I didn't see, for what I needed. And what I know, if it's over 8 billion people on this planet, somebody else needs what's in this journal as well. Somebody else wakes up in the morning and they don't tell, I do now, you know what I'm saying? I thank God for personal development and growth, but somebody is where I used to be, where they don't think about waking up in the morning and saying, I love you out loud to themselves. Because they might think it's crazy that, even though it's nobody, I remember hearing somebody say, you know what, I was saying my affirmations, and I find myself whispering, and I was in the house by myself. She's like, why am I whispering? Love and live out loud, out loud, out loud, out loud. If you gotta go in your little closet, if you gotta go in the car, if you gotta go to the park, if you gotta go out there in the field, out loud. The most important voice is yours. You hear you every day, whether it's inside your head or out loud. Then the other person you want to hear you is God. He can always hear your inner thoughts. But I do believe in this good book right here, there was a lot of talking out loud. There was a lot of talking out loud, even when people will buy themselves. They talked out loud to God. They had an exchange. Prayer is when you talk to God. Meditation is when you listen. Even if it wasn't necessarily prayer, but just sometimes I'd be like, Lord, y'all know what it is when y'all be out and you say, Lord, all right, now what you want? Well, me, I'll speak for myself. Lord, this can't, like, really. I remember a couple years ago when I started in health and wellness. Before that, being that I was almost 300 pounds, I was like, Lord Jesus. And I was at the job at the desk, and I'm like, this can't be it. This can't be. You got to have something else for me. I'll talk out loud. It was not just a thought in my head. It was so much so that I had to verbalize this thing to God, like, do you hear me? I need to make sure that you hear me. I can't be in my head like, or sitting in the corner. Y'all know, hey, sitting in the corner with your shades on, hoping nobody don't see you, like, Lord, and you thinking all these thoughts. I don't want. No, you gotta talk. You gotta talk. You gotta tell people. You gotta tell God. You gotta tell people what you want. You gotta tell yourself. And then you also gotta write it down, make it plain, right? Yeah. Verbalizing things and hearing it, write it down, verbalize, and then you make it happen with the action. Until you write things down, writing what does writing do? What does journaling do? It helps you pinpoint some things, just like with my podcast. I write pinpoints down that I want to cover so that I'm not all over the place, right? Except for my dad. And when I did my dad's with Father's Day, it was a little different, and I just wanted to flow. So I may have those moments, but I know for sure if I'm saying live out loud, I need to be able to communicate how, right? And by writing things down, such as I love you, like, you might need to really write it down so that you realize it here in the subconscious, to the point that you do say it and that you don't have a problem saying I love you, to the problem that you don't have a problem showing your own self affection. How many of y'all find yourselves waiting on someone else to give you what you could have been giving you the whole time? Love, affection, tenderness, kindness. The whole time you could have been music to your own ears saying I love you. You could have been the gentleness that you needed the whole time, and giving yourself a hug and say I love you, Jen. I appreciate you. I'm so grateful for you. Because guess what? If you're able to do it in private, when you go outside, you're going to shine. Because you're going to do it out there too. You're going to appreciate you so big, so bold, so beautiful, that it's going to exude. It's going to be something about you. I tell you not, I kid you not. Sometimes I be like, why it just seem like everybody just gravitating towards me? It be the weirdest thing sometimes. It just seems like people just be gravitating. I be like, what's going on? I be nervous sometimes. I'm like, do they know me? And sometimes some people like, hey, they do know that they see me online or something. I'd be like, oh, okay. Great. Well, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. I typically be like kind of low key sometimes, except for like today, I got my Trojan shirt on, which has my Instagram on the back. So, it's so, that it might happen that way. But a lot of time I'd be kind of like low key, but high energy. And so my energy just be out there, I guess, attracting people, which is not a bad thing at all. Sometimes it's how things happen. You never know. Everybody has their own personality and way of doing things, and the way that they approach you. And so sometimes it's catching. But living out loud, you guys, um, I was looking at something about we know what Freudian slips are, where your subconscious mind, right, will slip out what you're really thinking, your deep desires. This is the reason for journaling, for speaking out loud, maybe even going on a ramble. But you can do writing or you can do verbally, right? And just start saying, hey, just start saying your affirmation or just saying things or having a self conversation, and so instead of writing it, or if you've written it, read it, go through it, and continue on past it. I want my house, I want my car, I'm so happy, so grateful now that I have my car and I can see it's got the black interior, it's got the sunroof, I can see it's got the lights in the doors and things like that. And the more you describe and the more you go through that thing, the more you discover about what you want. So there's those deep desires, because otherwise it'll come out a conversation. So there's a good, most of the time we only see like the bad part. That's what you really thought. Oh yeah? Say what you mean then. You capture that too. But there's also the positive side of that. Say what you really want. Oh, so you really do want to go on a trip. You know how people do with food. You just told me you didn't want it. Now you over here, you let it stick you shut my fry. You know what I'm saying? But those slips in the positive way is really what you've been hiding. It's really what you really want. And sometimes it does unfortunately come out in a negative way. Well, you didn't take me on a trip. You said you didn't, might have said you didn't go. Well, you didn't even invite me and things like, what I'm saying? So you really have to say what you want. And as a female, which I might be a little bit different because I typically say what I want. If I want to go somewhere, I'm gonna say it. I'm not gonna wait for you to, I some. So what I'm gonna say is, if I know something is happening, but there's no invite, I know it may come out later, but I knew, and that's a whole other subject. That's a whole other topic. Right now, living out loud, admit what you want. Don't be scared to say what your needs are to yourself. If you need a vacation, say it. And when you go on that vacation, live. Don't take your problems with you. Don't take the stress with you. Don't take the job. If it's a vacation, let it be a vacation. Don't take the job, none of that stuff with you. Live and be your happiest. Leave the stress wherever it was at. Smile. You know how many people are scared to enjoy themselves for worrying about what other people think? They are literally holding themselves hostage in the mind, worried about what other people are going to say. You always going somewhere. Okay, so are you saying that in a complimental way? Like, wow, you out there living your life? Or are you saying it in a way like you really got a little bit of haterade in your spirit? You didn't let it go, sis. Like you got a little something in your spirit that say like you are you happy for me? And then again, does it even matter? When you go to sleep, you closing your eyeballs, not theirs. And in your subconscious, when you dream, all those things gonna come up like, did I do the right thing? Did I focus on somebody else? Or did I focus on what I want? Somebody got an issue with you going to buy your dream car? Oops, that's on them, not you. Somebody got an issue with you going to on your dream vacation? Oops, that's on them, not you. Maybe your dream job, maybe your promotion. You scared to get promoted because you scared of how people gon' think of you, your peers. Why? If that's what you want and that's the promise, that's what you talk to God and say, ask and you shall receive. And you asked him out loud, you wrote it down, they made it a goal. and you spoke that thing, and you worked that thing, and he gave you that thing, the rest don't matter. Nobody else matters. None of the other stuff matters. Live. And when you get in that position, do not, you know what a giraffe does? Does a giraffe bend its neck to eat low and eat the grass? Or does it extend its neck to them trees? Eat them branches, eat them leaves. It extend the neck. Get some of them good leaves up there where it's at. It's not going to stoop down to anybody's level. If you've been elevated, if God elevated you, live in it. Live out loud. There's being humble, but do not humble yourself down to the point where you question yourself, till you wonder if you even deserve the position, deserve the car, deserve the house, deserve the shoe, whatever it may be. For some people, even the relationship with God. Do you know it's people that will make you question if you're saved just because maybe you don't do the same thing they do? Look, I'm not even 40 yet. So the way I live and the things that I do is I'm not supposed to act like I'm 80 years old. Okay, I ain't in the streets, doing craziness and nothing like that. But what I do and what I'm into is not going to be the same as somebody twice my age. And I'm an introvert, but I know how to extrovert very well. Okay. And so when I need to switch over from, to my 90210, I can switch over to my 90210. Now I grew up in a project, so if I need to, hey, code switch, hey, I could do that too. That's what I know. That hey, keep it real, keep it real, okay? But I'm gonna live. I cannot worry about other people, and neither can you. How many dreams, goals, visions, and aspirations do you have on hold right now? Worrying about somebody else. Whose doubt and unbelief have you adopted? Whose opinions that do not suit you, that do not feed you, have you adopted? Let them go. Release and be released. As my late father, Mr. Terry, would say, all seasons come to an end. All seasons come to an end. So on this day, I need you to reach higher. Do not reach lower unless you're reaching down to pick somebody up to your level and you elevate each other. But do not reach down to have someone pull you down to their level so that they could be comfortable, because they're too scared to live. They're just perfectly happy with being alive and getting from day to day, from struggle to struggle, from complaint to complaint, from stress to stress, from pain to pain, from hurt to hurt. No, you must live and be great and strive for going from smile to bigger smile, smile out loud, to life more abundantly, to joy, overflow. Who are you? Do you know the promise on your life? Do you know the calling on your life? It's big, it's super big. It's bad, it's super bad. God don't do nothing mediocre. So why would you allow yourself to be mediocre? Why would you allow your maximum to be your minimum to be your maximum? Maximize your everything. Ask God to extend your capacity so you can live the bigger life. You can live in the promise. And don't be ashamed of what he does for you. Tell it. Share it. It's not boasting. You are giving him his credit and you're saying, hey, if you let God lead you, guess what? He can do it for you too. And you can live out loud. You can live your best life. Okay? Because you are what? Chosen! Yes, 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 you are. Yes, 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 you are. If you do not have your journal, you need to get it. Okay? You need to love yourself. This is the self-love journal, 70 pages of love. Okay? You can gift it, you know, you can gift it to someone. Priorities in here. So I have like work on webinar. I'm proud to say I when I wrote that down, we got it done. I've done some. So and that I will say so next time I need to put is work on publishing it, right? So I have my Strive to Thrive webinar. And I'm debating on whether I'm going to put it up where it's available because it's a very intimate session, you guys. My Strive to Thrive is an intimate session where you can ask questions. And so I just want to make sure also as well that I hold the integrity of those who participate. So we're gonna work on that and see what the next step of that is. But at least we got it done. Created something. I created what I needed. I created what I saw. I created what was in the vision. How many of y'all see things, a workbook, or out of that webinar came a workbook, came a journal? Off one idea and implementing the first thing, came the next thing, came the next thing. What's inside of you that you ain't shared yet? Come on now. Let's go. See, things that make you smile. Okay? Things that motivate you. Do you even know what those things are? Have you identified what those things even are? Or are you just going through day to day? I've asked people, hey, what would you do every day, okay, for free? Create something, go a particular place. If you do it for free, okay, so now if you can monetize that particular thing, would you do it? Do you know how many people say no because they're scared that they won't get support? It's babies. Nobody can support nothing that don't exist, that only exists in your head. This only existed in my head until I created it and held it in my hand. And now other people also hold it in their hands. Can't support what don't exist. New book coming out, you guys. She owned her story. This is available for pre-order. Okay, this was an idea, right? And then we have to make it out loud. It's available for pre-order. And then, as soon as we get it published, it'll be what? In the hand, just like this. It's in the hand. Somebody was an idea inspired by who? God, right? And then it was written down and published, and then we would hold it in our what? Hand. Okay, so get that idea out there. I want to say, get you some good pens. I love the profile pens, the Papermate pens. This is a really good pen. This actually came from the Dollar Tree. So something cute. So I would say is it's important what you see on the front of your journal, notebooks, tablets, and things like that, that when you see it, it feed into you, and then get you something good to write. You want to make sure you get a good writing pen or pencil so that you write with ease. You don't want to put struggle into your affirmations because you're struggling to write. Okay, but I love these. Dollar Tree has them, Walmart has them. I believe Walmart. What was I at yesterday that had them? Grab you a pen to write with. Roses have them if you have roses near you. So grab you something pretty, something that makes you feel good about you, right? When I write in my journal and I'm writing with this pen, I feel it makes me feel like a princess, makes me feel like a queen, you know? It gives a different vibration. So put things, that's the reason why I have that there. Put things around you that make you what? Feel good. That's part of your living out loud. Your environment is part of your living out loud. Okay? So thank you so much. I appreciate you again for tuning in, tapping in. Thank you for tuning into Real Talk with Jen, the Chainbreaker. Thank you for being part of this Grateful Now series, mini series. Definitely grateful for you. And again, for those y'all that been rocking with me, over 10 years now on the Take a Chance 21013 page, I am grateful for you. Let me know what it is you that I can talk about to help you to your next level, to help you elevate, to help you be inspired and motivated. Okay? Because that's what I'm here to do. Jen Lo Inspires. I'm here to inspire and take you higher. Okay? I love you guys. See you next time.
She got a big mic and know how to use it. She got a big mic and know how to use it. She got a big mic and know how to use it. She got a big mic and know how to use it.
Yeah, yeah.